Good evening, everyone. I call to order today, February 15, 2023, 5:30. Call for order. Let's join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, roll call. Mr. Navomich? Navomich?
Here.
Okay. Mr. Berry?
Here.
Mr. Heyer?
Here.
Mr. Ray?
Here.
Mr. Howard?
Here.
And Mr. Hound? Mrs.
Here.
Hound. Oh,
Ms. Hahn, yes.
all right. And myself, Jose Aliaga. Hi. I'm here. Here. All right. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll approve the agenda.
Okay.
Who was that, Rob?
Rob?
Oh, and just for roll call purposes, John Elke and Matt Lowe are also.
Oh, okay. For roll call. Oh, sorry, guys. It wasn't in the minutes.
No worries.
Thanks. All right. Who seconded? I need a second.
Second.
A second. All right. Motion made by Rob and seconded. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Fine. Okay. All right. So, all right. We need to. We approve the agenda, and we don't have any carryovers here. So, we go to regular business. Number one, we have request to approve the minutes from 11/16/2022. If I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion to approve that?
Okay. Anyone want to second it? Any second?
I'll second.
All right. Rob seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes approved. Two, review the 2021-2022 Video Center budget report ending on February 6, 2023. John Elke.
Yes, thank you very much for your time. In front of you is the budget, what we have up to date as far as February 6th of this year. As stated at the last meeting, you'll kind of notice some big changes that we have in our budget. Most notably, in operating costs of equipment greater than $5,000, we had the school board upgrade project that we approved at the last meeting come out of the budget. So it's not officially done yet, but it is reflected in our budget of being taken out. So the PO has been sent off. The equipment is in, the process now is the equipment needs to be ordered. That'll be done by our vendor at Key Code Media. They anticipated it either be this month or March of when they'd get the equipment in and they could do the install. So right now we're still waiting for that. Yes.
I'm really hard of hearing. Could you speak a little louder?
Oh, sure. Sorry. I'll speak more into the mics. Apologize. At this point with the school board upgrade, it is reflected in the budget. We're just waiting for the equipment to come in. We hope to have that in March, but we're kind of reliant on when that equipment will be available to be shipped. So that's where that is at this time. You'll also notice in the equipment less than $5,000, we had some purchases as well that I got to show you beforehand. We purchased a new 4K DSLR camera to use for our video production, as well as an electronic stabilizer. So this kind of replaces a few of the different options that we have been using, and it's something that our staff has been looking to upgrade as of late. So once the new year kind of came around, we looked at a few different options and kind of settled on these two pieces. So we've gotten to use them very sparingly so far since the purchase, but what we have been able to use them for has been really great. We've been really impressed with not only the quality of the 4K footage that we're shooting, but also just the smoothness and quality of the stabilizers that we're able to kind of expand out a little bit on what we want to do from a production standpoint. So those are the two biggest, I'd say, differences from the last meeting that we had in November. You will see with our budget, how it's looking, our budget, as a reminder, it does end in June. It follows the school district's budget calendar. So from a budget standpoint, we're actually, in my opinion, looking quite well at this point in the year for February, as far as only spending 42% of our operating budget to this point. We still have 58% remaining from the operating cost standpoint. So I anticipate that we will again be able to add in a significant amount of money to our fund balance come June. So, but that'll be at the next meeting when we're able to bring forth the proposed budget for 23-24, but also the hopefully projections of where we're looking to end with this upcoming year. So I'm happy to answer any questions you have about the budget to the best of my knowledge.
Thank you, John. Any questions?
Yeah, but you said their upgrades are in progress?
Yes.
And the upgrades will continue through June, or is there an end date projected?
No, the upgrades won't continue through June. We're hoping to have the project installed in March, but we're just waiting on the if you're talking about the school board, I imagine. The budget ends in June, but our upgrades to the school board, that has been purchased. We're just waiting for the equipment to get to our vendors so they can schedule an install here at the district.
So, I have quick question.
Yes.
And my memory's pretty rusty. So I thought we had the ability to let community members, if they came in and got trained, they could check out some equipment and do video,
Yes.
Correct. So with, is there any concern that some of our technology is becoming very expensive? Is this something that we would allow to be checked out?
It's a really good question. So we have a certain amount, kind of an equipment checklist that we check out to the public. So it kind of varies from microphones, tripods, and we have a few select cameras that we do rent out to the public. Stuff like this we kind of reserve for production staff.
Okay.
Just to, like you said, make sure that it's kind of well taken care of and that we get good lifespan out of it. So when it comes to the public renting out equipment, we kind of have a select group of equipment that we allow them to kind of choose from.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Wait,
Problem.
So, okay, just to clarify.
Oh, sure.
So members of the community can come in and learn, use the equipment for a specific project that they're working on, right?
If it is able to be broadcasted on ITV, yes.
If they're what?
If it's able to be broadcast on our channels, yes, they can use the equipment.
If it can be, so if the content can run on the channel, then they can use the equipment.
Correct.
Okay.
And they are a resident of Clarkston, Independence, or Springfield townships.
Yeah, those are the basic takeaways.
We haven't run into too many issues where that's been a problem, I guess, but always a good reminder. We were actually just talking about that before the meeting today, so it's fun that you bring that up.
The only time in the past I think there's been slight confusion is, I think there was one group that thought they could check out gear to do videos for internal use for their business. And we had to be like, well, no, the reason you're getting the gear for free is so we can get content for free. So as long as you're doing that, there's some other nuances, but that's the main thing. If you're making sure that we can broadcast on the cable channels, then you can check it out.
Yeah, because I think the chamber was using it for a while for some of their stuff, so.
Well, most of the time when community members interact with us, they use the studio.
Right.
So we haven't had a lot of community members check out gear recently. They normally come to use the studio facilities, and the staff helps with those productions.
Gotcha.
Hey, Rob, you had a question?
Yeah, so this new gyro camera
Yes.
that we're all fascinated with here, does that appear on the actual year-to-date through 2/6/23 under equipment down here, the $3,507?
It would be under the equipment less than 5,000, so that would be in the budget line where it says 25,675 remaining. So we've spent $6,324.50 from that budget line. So that's where that came out. Now these two pieces of equipment didn't total. I think that we had a few other small pieces that came into that budget line, but that's where it came out of, was the under operating cost equipment less than 5,000. So you see the cost of the $6,324.50. That's where that was.
Okay, very good, thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions from board members?
Not a question, just a comment, but
Sure, sure.
I think it's awesome that you guys jumped on that right away, right at the beginning of the year, to give people the opportunity to, use a piece of equipment like that. I think it's good.
Our staff has been really excited to use it. Like I said, Matt and Legato, who's back running our meeting, and myself, we've gotten to use it very sparingly at this time, but with all the events kind of coming up in the next few weeks and months, it'll it'll be a great use. So I'm really excited to see what we can do with it.
It's good that you jumped on it.
Thanks.
Any other questions, comments?
Yeah, I guess the only other thing that I might say, and I don't know if this is the correct way to look at this, but the ending balance in 20 was $269,000, and the ending balance in the projected is 453. That means we've managed to raise the amount we're working with $180,000 over 3 years, right? And then, as far as the total operating costs, they've only gone up $13,000 in 3 years. The difference between the two line items. So really, we're doing more. It almost appears as though we're doing more with less. Is that the wrong way to look at this, or?
Maybe not the wrong way to look at it. I know that we have been pretty aggressive as far as putting money into our fund balance, and that has been a priority. At least looking back at the past few budgets, that concerted effort has been made to make sure that we do put money into our fund balance at the end of the year. So I think that has been kept in mind when budgeting out our expenses, to kind of spread out some of our purchases throughout the years, to kind of be mindful of that. And the capital improvement plan, 5 years, does help with that. We have been able to kind of use that as a guiding force. So I don't know if it might be a correct way of looking at it, but I think from a budget standpoint, I think we've been kind of conservative from a saving standpoint, and that's the way I'd like to look at it, I guess.
If you look at the
As
total
a
expenditures
non-municipal
line, it
finance
does-
kind of guy, that's the way it appears to me, is that the fund balance has gone up quite a bit, significantly. Operating costs have gone down. It's very unusual, I think, in a lot of ways. So, very good.
If you look at the total expenditures line, it looks like it does, kind of go up and down a little bit. So I think we yo-yoed a little bit in that. But yeah, I think we've always tried to put close to 20+ grand in our fund balance. So that has been building every year.
And I can speak that I think in 1 year, and Matt might be able to clarify this, that the total expenditures did go up because we did have to purchase an operating system kind of unexpectedly. So that kind of inflated our total expenditures a little bit that one particular year. And I'm not sure which year it was, but I do remember, it might have been 21, but I do know that was an unexpected cost.
I know we brought our channel broadcast system, which was a big expense 1 year. We've also had different staff. We went from having 2 full-time video center employees to only 1. So some of those have kind of changed the numbers a little bit over the years as well.
Rosy. Looks rosy.
Okay. No any further comments? All right, let's moving on. Number 3, updates, ITV production status. John Elkey. Well,
Excuse me, do we have a motion? Do we move to accept the budget or no?
it's a review, right?
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay, thanks.
Good question. I was wondering too. It was a review.
All right, okay.
Yes.
But no, the only budget I can speak of is the next meeting. We will have to have an approval from the Video Center Board for our 23-24 budget. So that will be an approval at the next meeting in April for you to look at. So.
Yes. This you again, John, for the number 3 for the update for the ITV productions. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time again to highlight our staff. This presentation is going to stretch from our last meeting in November to December. So I just kind of did an end of the year recap from what we have. Next meeting, if we, time permitting, I'll happily update everybody on our status from the kickoff of 2023. But for this purpose, it's just the closure of 2022. So I'll go through some of our highlights real quick. Through the cable, production coordinator Matt Legato took the lead on premiering another public domain movie on our cable channels. He showed Santa Conquers the Martians on Christmas Eve. So we've kind of started this trend where Matt's really found a passion project with these public domain movies that we've been able to utilize cable as a landing source for appointment viewing. We actually were able to use this again for Valentine's Day yesterday with a public domain movie. So we're kind of trying to expand, but also just use cable as a resource for us to drive viewership there. We use social media to promote these movies when we have them upcoming. So we've actually been looking at doing this more frequently, kind of like a Friday night movie night on cable with some public domain movies. He's been researching a little bit of a list to get together. So once we have something a little more concrete, hopefully we can have some more consistency with that. But it's been a fun project to see launch, and I'm happy to see where this took us off to. From the live standpoint, the PM production class and all ITV staff helped produce the live production of the Holiday Lights Parade in downtown Clarkston in December. I'll have more on that later in this presentation. But online, our community-produced show, Conversations with Bill. I don't know if you guys watch, but
No,
thank you, Phil.
Yeah.
But he found an audience in Brazil this past December after his latest episode premiered. He sent us a photo of these two little boys watching his show on TV. Granted that, you know, the two little boys were watching their grandpa who was in the episode at the time, but they said they were so excited to see their grandpa on the same TV as the Ninja Turtles. So big win for our, you know, community produced show. I think that was kind of a fun highlight. So we'll get into productions here, and like I said, with the Holiday Lights Parade, I'd really like to touch base with this. We broadcasted live the Holiday Lights Parade on December 10th. We had 6 ITV staff members on hand, along with 8 students from the PMTV production class. Members of the class assisted with the production, as you'll kind of see in some of these photos, but we also had some of them walk in the parade with Matt to kind of promote the media program. The video was live, and then we took it down, the live, and put up our recorded version afterwards the same night. And that same night recorded version had 1.1 thousand views on YouTube today, and that's our highest viewed parade of all time on YouTube. So it was a highly successful or well-watched parade, and we did a lot of social media promotion for this parade to get people to know that we were one, broadcasting live. We had our announcer, Michael Rosenkrantz, who was kind of on hold in case the parade's announcer wasn't available, but he didn't have too much to do once the parade's announcer was there. So he and our social media coordinator actually did some live videos at the parade saying, hey, the parade's about to kick off. Make sure you tune in here. The link's included in the post. And it was just a good use of resources, in my opinion, to utilize everybody's talents that day to make sure that we were getting the best production out of it. And I will say, Mr. Hayward, I believe you brought up last time about presenting a banner out of when we were doing productions to let people know and have a QR code. After the meeting, Matt actually said, I think we have one of those in the closet.
We found it.
Yeah, and we found one, so we actually were able to bring it to the parade and set it up to our production site. So appreciate the suggestion, and we were able to kind of put it in use almost after immediate. So
I do have a question though.
yeah.
Do you know the difference between how many were live streaming versus watched it later? I don't know if you have that data or not.
I can check to see what the data is on live versus the recorded one. I don't know what the exact number was on the live one, but I can get that for you.
I'm just curious. It's obviously not. where you
Yeah,
record this, but-
I will say we did have some issues with our live broadcast of finding a steady internet stream that we were able to broadcast out. Granted, we lost our first and second option for power and first option for internet when we got on site, so we kind of played around with a hotspot, and it worked, but not to the quality that we wanted it to. So moving forward, we're still exploring different options of what the best way would be to broadcast out a parade from a location where we don't have a hard internet line connection. So that's something we're looking at. We tried this idea of a hotspot from the library that we got. Like I said, it worked okay, but it wasn't up to the quality that we wanted. So we're still kind of looking into that. But all in all, I'd say we were all very excited with the parade, and it was a great event for our staff to be out. Everybody kind of doing their part, and I was just very proud of our staff to see everybody kind of pulling together to make this thing possible. So kudos to our staff for doing this. Now discussing the public side of what we've been doing, later months of the year we continue to produce and cover many community events. As you can kind of see some of the examples I listed here down in the lower screen, but I will say that we did get a visitor in studio, AJ. He's a former Clarkston High School student. He works with New Horizons Rehabilitation Center, and he actually stopped by our studio to get an idea of what it was like to have a career in broadcast and media and television. He was kind of going through different career paths to see what he was interested in. So we were happy to kind of open up our studios and show him around a little bit and give him an understanding of what goes on and everything like that. And they were very appreciative of our time, but having people stop by the studio like this has been just enjoyable. So I was happy that we were able to host somebody like that. But from our community events standpoint, we had the Community Impact Weekend, Christmas on the Farm, Turkey Shoot, Walk and Talk with Santa. Both those are parks events. The Woodland Airstrip groundbreaking, and a few more just in a matter of months of community events that we were able to produce videos for. So from that standpoint, it was very well busy, I guess you could say. From the education side, our PMTV class was able to work 2 basketball games and the Holiday Lights Parade before the holiday break in December. During the break, we took some time to clean up the studio and run some updates on the TriCaster just to make sure everything was kind of ready for the next semester. So it was a good opportunity for us to get in and just kind of reset a little bit. And I will kind of note down here this recognition. I don't know if you guys got to see this on our social pages, but Detroit Lions play-by-play broadcaster Dan Miller saw a video of our broadcaster, Michael Rosenkrantz, calling the Clarkston basketball game that he did in December, and kind of paid Michael a really nice compliment of his play-by-play ability. And being able to tell Michael that, I gave him a text while he was working at his other job, and he about flew out of his chair that one of his idols, saw him doing his job, and he was just super excited about it. So if you haven't seen the video, it's on our Facebook page. I implore you to check it out. You'll actually get to see it here in a little bit, actually. From the government side, so in November, we were able to broadcast out the live swearing-in ceremony of Jose. The ceremony had 130 views live. So along with the ceremony, Independence Township and the city of the Village of Clarkston partnered to create a support local for the holidays video that was used for cable and social media use. The video kind of focused on the downtown of Clarkston, but also the natural amenities of Independence Township, kind of highlighting the best of both worlds from these two areas and I guess neighbors, you could say, to just implore people to kind of visit us during the holidays. So also with the government, we've been doing a little bit more social media coverage with, the events we do, consistently, but we've been trying this thing where we repost different clips from meetings. If something happens, you kind of see some firefighter promotions and stuff like that. We've been kind of taking those clips from the meetings and reposting them the next day just to kind of draw attention to, to an event that people may have missed from a regular trustees meeting, but also just saying, hey, this happened, check it out. So we've found a little bit of success doing that, and we'll probably continue to kind of keep doing stuff like that when things happen at meetings. If there are certain segments of feel-good moments or something like that that we can share, we've certainly been trying to do that. So we've also been sharing our links on our social pages as well when special meetings come up, just so the public has an opportunity to kind of find those and see them when they're happening. So I'll touch on social media. Hannah Gray continues to do a great job. This is kind of recaps a little bit from 2002 of how our pages have been doing, and this is Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'd say our 3 main components. Twitter has been something we've been using, but it's just not growing the way that we want to. We're still using it, but I'd say these are still our 3 largest ones. So you'll see in 2022 our page on Facebook visits were up 90%, and page reach up 1% to 32,000 accounts that have seen our Facebook page. From Instagram, this is kind of where Hannah has done a really great job of engaging our audience. We saw our views in 2022 go up 338%, and our reach is up 7.3% to 81,000 accounts that we're able to reach. So YouTube, we gained 169 subscribers across the United States, Canada, India, and Australia. That's just through YouTube Analytics, so it's kind of neat to see where people are watching from. But I will say our Facebook page did see a 91% increase of reach during the months of November and December. Mostly it peaked, as I discussed earlier, with the Holiday Lights Parade. We had 4,000 accounts seeing content from our page, and that's just through shares, people seeing what we're posting out there. So that was through the live videos that we did, the photos we posted of the staff afterwards, the drone shot that we posted with a link to the YouTube page of the recorded version of the parade. That was all job well done from our social staff that day of really engaging that event. So we gained 28 page followers just during this time span. So nice few months from a social standpoint. And to close this out, I wanted to kind of show you guys a small video. We just entered in our hometown media awards competition this year. It's a national competition between community media stations across the United States. This is something that Independence Television has entered in the past. We just got our submissions together, so this is our submission for overall excellence in public education government with a budget less than $300,000. So effectively, you know, station of the year is what we're hoping for, but this is it, so please enjoy.
Community media and Independence Television in particular has been essential to our nonprofit educational arm. And we really pride ourselves in being able to offer high quality but low cost programming for kids. So we just don't have a lot of resources to spend on marketing. And having a partnership with Independence Television and community media has allowed us to share what we do with our wider community in a way that is very effective and can really tell the story of our mission. We have a native plant nursery. I'm hoping people will go to a native plant nursery and get plants that they can start their own mini little nature center in their yard.
We're starting off with the groundbreaking. We want to recognize everybody that helped us get to this point. The engineers, the township, the neighbors, you know, celebrating this new chapter in the history.
We're all here cooking. We got guys on duty that are coming in, socializing with senior citizens. So it's kind of just a fun group gathering and a little bit of appreciation to give back to people that have done so much for us.
They are able to capture the fun of all of our events and our programming, and they kind of bring it alive. They're really able to capture the heart of what we're doing and all the planning that we do that goes into everything and bring it to everyone in the community. Maybe who missed the event or wanted to check it out afterwards. I love that I'm able to stay up to date on everything that's going on with my community television. I think that's a really important piece for us.
Let's all welcome the American Legion host opportunity to film sporting events, community events, and it also provided me with the opportunity to participate in a summer internship where I got to teach kids how to run camera equipment and other equipment in the studio. Through Independence Television and me doing what I do, first behind the scenes for a while, and now what I do on mic. I did football this season. I got the opportunity to travel to Ann Arbor this year to cover the Battle of the Big House. That's my end goal with my career as a play-by-play announcer. I want to continue this well into the future. In my opinion, it's one of the greatest jobs I have ever had. I will never look back on this opportunity that I've gotten.
Did you put a plug out?
Yeah.
nice.
Our 2022, so thank you for being a part of it. Any questions?
No, but maybe a comment. It is true, you know. I remember when I got elected in 2012 as a trustee, the idea came out to us to, I actually was working with Pat Kittle to see the possibility of work together with the schools. And there was a lot of people that at that time, if you remember, Rob, you were there, remember? It was, we didn't know if it's gonna work or not. But we believe it, and we have a lot of faith that that can be work. And after many years, to see this positive results and impact, the positive impact is impressive. And it's true. Also, John and Matt, during you guys did a great job. Now some of the board meetings, like now it's in YouTube, it's very easy that people can see it live, people that just want to watch it. If you miss the board meetings, include this one, I believe, you can find it on YouTube, and it's easy. You can look at your phone. We didn't have that a few years ago. It's something new that you guys brought to the table that is working out for that community. Even if you're out of town, you can still watch the board meetings on live or later around. It's very impressive of technology, you know. It's advancing. So thank you guys for your hard work and dedication for the township. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Any
Nice
questions,
work.
maybe?
Yeah.
No?
Very good job.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay. And this one is just an update, so we don't need to make a motion for this. Moving on, we have to, number 4, approval of the 2023 regular meetings schedule. So this is approved for the next one, right?
Yep, the next 3 meetings. I can't make the April 19th meeting, so if you all can make it, you can carry on without me.
Okay.
But if other people are missing, we need to at least have 4 people here.
All right, I should be fine on the 19th.
I'm
Yeah.
good with the 19th.
Yeah. All right, everybody okay for April 19th?
All set.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All, okay, motion have made and seconded. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, public comment. Members of the public may address anyone? No? Okay. All right, moving on. H, board members comment. Any comment from board members? No?
I have one thing we maybe should have
Sure.
mentioned at the beginning. Mr. Jose Aliaga is now on the Video Center board. He's a new face to our board. Just so the public knows kind of how that happens is the township board appoints their representative, they appointed Jose, and then our chair, and Steve, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's the township chairs the odd number years and the school district chairs the even number years. So anyone that is watching at home and what's Jose doing on video? Well, that's how he got here, and we're happy to have him join us in our meetings from now on.
Thank you, Matt. It's true, yes. I'm happy being the board. Actually, I was in the board back in the day on 2012. When we started this, I was in the board, and I really enjoyed working with you guys. So, and thank you, yeah. It's a great relationship between the schools and the township, and it's working great, so. And thank you, Steve. I know you've done a lot also for the community. Thanks. Thanks all of you. All right, any other comments?
Yes, I have a question. The station's advertised in the Clarkston News. You run a nice little ad in there, and if one reads the ad, you might notice there's mention of something's referred to as easy peasy ITVC. I'm curious, who came up with that catchy little phrase? I want to be able to identify the author of that composition.
I'm sure it was a conversation with myself, Stephen Merck, and Kevin, one of our former employees. If I had to give sole credit, I think it was Kevin's idea, but I'm sure it was a conversation we had in the office where we were talking about something. It's easy peasy ITVC.
So there it is.
There's the origin story.
Thank you. That answers my question.
Okay. All right, moving on. I guess I need a motion for adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, David seconded. All right.
Made the motion again?
Mrs.
Leanna.
Liana,
And who seconded?
David.
David, okay.
All right. This is, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.